Unbelievable. Shytoshi Kusama, the CEO of Shiba Inu Coin, about to quit? The end of Shib token explained. The biggest story this week, and perhaps in 2022, at least for DeFi junkies, is the recent departure of one of DeFi's most prolific developers, Cronje. Today we're going to talk all about why Cronje left DeFi and what will happen if the CEO of Shiba Inu Coin, Shytoshi Kusama, backs off from Shiba Inu Coin. Welcome to Shiba Inu Coin, your daily dose of Shiba. If you are interested in everything around Shiba, this is the place for you. Subscribe if you want to stay updated with all the Shib news, predictions, and stay one step ahead in the crypto world. Make sure to hit the like button for us to provide you with more Shib news. Don't forget to enable all notifications to join our weekly cash giveaway pinned in the comments. Before we get to our topic, let's take a look at the chart and see what the price of Shiba is doing on the 19th of March, shall we? Shiba Inu price action retook a step back and paired almost all the gains from Wednesday's rally. Investors are swinging back into bearish mode as tail risks emerge and are put at the top of the agenda going into the weekend. Conflicting rumors and contrary remarks from what is going on in Ukraine are keeping investors puzzled and refraining them from continuing to open risk-on bets. Shiba Inu price sees puzzled investors turning their back on crypto. Shiba Inu price action is set to erase its gains from earlier this week. Shib price rose after the news that peace talks were making good progress. Yet this all looked to be thrown in the bin overnight, as several headlines came out about Russia being not optimistic at all, and the US even putting the threat of nuclear weapons back on the table, as it sees Russia possibly trying to squeeze out a peace agreement that meets all of its demands, but none of Ukraine's. Shiba Inu and other cryptocurrencies saw bulls repeating the same mistake as last week when they got squeezed out by the weekend. Shib price action is again dropping back to the baseline of a longer-term triangle, with the green trend line as its base. Multiple tests up until now have been held, but with the meeting between Biden and Xi this evening, it looks clear that the US wants to get a clear answer from China as to whether it is with the US against Russia or with Russia, offering no middle ground. The tail risk from this meeting going into the weekend could trigger a break at 2,111 hundred millionths of a dollar, and see a drop towards 1,708 millionths of a dollar, the low of January, which could well overshoot towards 1,500 millionths of a dollar. Now let's get back to the topic. Cronje has been a hugely influential character in the industry ever since the launch of Yearn Finance, a crypto yield aggregator, back in 2020. The project's native token, YFI, went from $0 to just over $40,000 in a few months, earning the token blue chip status within DeFi. Now though, he's leaving, and this time it looks like it's for good. Back in March 2020, he quit crypto, citing the toxic community, but eventually returned. Then he quit again in August, before returning again. It was a mess, but this time feels different. Anton Nell, another developer who worked with Cronje and a senior architect to the Phantom Foundation, broke the news on Sunday, saying, "Andre and I have decided that we're closing the chapter of contributing to the DeFi crypto space. Unlike previous building in DeFi sucks rage quits, this is not a knee-jerk reaction to the hate received from releasing a project, but a decision that has been coming for a while now," Nell added. Nell also said that roughly 25 apps and services related to the dynamic duo would be terminated on April 3rd. The most notable affected apps, such as Yearn Finance, Multichain, a cross-chain crypto bridge project, and Keeper Network, a tokenized version of Fiverr or Upwork, have already migrated to other domains, and it would appear they will continue to be maintained by their respective communities. For instance, the website for Yearn.fi will be shuttered, and users are advised to instead use what is essentially the same service at Yearn.finance. The news nonetheless caused havoc for the tokens related to these projects, as well as the various networks that Cronje and crew have influenced, most notably Phantom. YFI plummeted from roughly $20,000 to about $18,000 in a matter of hours. YFI has recouped some of those losses, a bounce that can likely be attributed to DeFi's Twitterati reminding folks that Andre hasn't contributed to Yearn in some time. Banteg, a core developer of Yearn, said that Andre hasn't worked on Yearn for over a year, adding that 50 full-time people and 140 part-time contributors are maintaining the $3 billion project. KP3R, the token for Keeper Network, hasn't been quite as fortunate. The token dropped from about $625 to roughly $423, but unlike YFI, it's continued to fall. Earlier in the week, it traded at $358, nearly half its price since the announcement, before rebounding slightly today to about $379. Though the bearish action on these tokens has been dramatic, it's nothing compared to what happened to the entire Phantom ecosystem. If you remember from a few weeks ago, Cronje and co-developer Danny Sestagli launched a protocol-level decentralized exchange called Solidity, which also came with a token that was to be distributed to the largest Phantom-based DeFi projects by total value locked, which is another way of describing the money being used within a crypto project. So if your project made the cut, then the protocol would be endowed with a solid token. The project was then solely in charge of how to distribute it to its users. This could have been via a yield farming campaign, a simple airdrop, or something else. It was completely up to them. And just as every crypto investor has flocked blindly to any token attached to Cronje, and Sestagli to a similar extent, the Phantom ecosystem exploded with activity. In January, when the dynamics of how this new token would be distributed became clear, Phantom hit an all-time high of $15.21 billion in total value, according to DeFi Llama. Phantom then traded sideways for a bit before spiking again on March 3rd. Since then, though, capital has fled the ecosystem like a fire drill. For reference, rumors that Cronje was stepping down had already begun circulating on March 3rd, hence the initial drop in value beginning at that time. The evacuation was made especially painful as investors were simultaneously spot selling FTM, Phantom's native coin. The coin fell from $1.62 to $1.31 between Sunday and Monday, capping a nearly 20% tumble. So yes, it's a lot of chaos. But just as Elon Musk and Shiba Inu fanboys have reminded the market time and again, pitching messiahs to save you and your bank account can have serious consequences. And on the flip side, for all the builders and founders out there, even if your code is a cold-blooded robo-bank, it doesn't mean the people using it will be too. Markets are emotional, and perhaps even more so in the wild world of immutable finance. And same as if Shytoshi Kusama decided to leave the Shib, same thing will happen with Shiba Inu Coin. That's all for today. Also, we would like to mention that this is not a channel intended specifically to provide financial advice, and we do not ask you to invest in any company. This is merely a channel directed towards bringing educational content to your doorsteps. With that in mind, before you invest in anything, we recommend you do thorough, wide-spectrum research on the topic. We hope you like this video. Let us know in the comments below if you're a Shiba holder, and make sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time at Shiba Inu Coin. Bye!